So the other day, I got to experience something called the Gua Sha Yoga Facial. It was so incredible. I got my wife one for her birthday. She had her treatment yesterday. That's when I sat down with Cecilia Berkeley, too. She runs the Holistic Spa. And as you're about to hear, there is a deep meaning behind everything that happens, behind everything she does. There's a larger goal here. It's not just about working on your face. It's about moving energy. Enjoy this conversation and enjoy getting to know Cecilia Berkeley.
So yes, I have to do that, self-care.
All right, that's where we're going to start. So Cecilia, where did it start? Why do you do this work, right? Because everybody has their why, and then that becomes the thing.
Well, I know this is something that it is in my genes because it comes from my grandma. But how did I start it? How did I start it to be my passion in my everything? When I hit bottom, when I went through a really dark space in my life, depression, and anxiety, depression, deep depression. Mm-hmm. When I had a little boy about a year and a half or so, and it's like, I didn't even know how I can get out of bed. So I needed immediately to find a solution.
Yeah.
I needed to feel what a smile. I have three boys. So that's how everything started. Started because in my gut was telling me that I wanted to do it the natural way, the only way I knew how, because seeing my mother and my grandmother, that's the only thing I knew. And in myself, I wanted that. I wanted to find something to heal myself. I searched, but I also study. Because in searching, I couldn't find it. So I study a holistic nutrition, a holistic approach to heal me first. Mm-hmm. And in that, it went 3 or 4 years of searching and development before my business. But before I started feeling like, oh, that's happiness, I think. Yeah. It took me a year.
Yeah.
And it started by me nourishing the right way. That's how I started. But why is it corazon? Because that's how I started with my mind to feel a little sense of calm. I felt like when I was taking my bath and I was putting these oils and I was smelling and taking deep breath, I felt like, wow.
Like something was happening.
Like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Even if it was for a couple minutes and then I went back, but it was a combination of things. But it started by me manipulating, touching, pressure, and smelling those beautiful essences and aromas that helped me feel something in my heart and in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I hope that people understand that there's so much that's coming out now about mind, gut, all of the connections and the way that our body is wired. And so I had a treatment. My wife just got a treatment. Let's talk a little bit about what happens on that table, okay? First up, why do we need to have this lymphatic system worked on and drained and,
Yes.
What are we carrying there? What are you getting rid of?
To say it so simple, the way everybody can understand it, it is accumulation of stress. Mm-hmm. That the only way to be able to completely flush is by touching it. And it's not just by walking. It's not just running or exercising. You literally have to touch them. You need to manipulate them because it's energy. Mm-hmm. And just like energy, it gets stuck.
Yeah.
And you need to learn where it goes so that you can flash. That's what, for me, that is everything.
Yes.
My people eat good, most of them. They try their best to be able to be healthy mind and body. But they don't know how important that is. And when they experience that for the first time, they realize, oh, what have I been missing? What happened there?
Mm-hmm. Well, I noticed for me, one of the greatest things was, and a lot of us don't necessarily realize how busy our brains are, yes. Right? And our nervous systems are just really, 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 really going. And then on top of that, if you're somebody who's dealt with a trauma or had some serious involvement with a traumatic brain injury or something like that, there can be a whole wiring that's taking place. It makes it almost impossible for you to come down.
It is. To
say that, right? So when you're helping people come down, what's going on there in the brain?
Sometimes I will say that it's even harder to explain because it's a feeling that I get.
Yeah.
Everybody can learn something. Yes, and I'm good because I study me to be able to listen and to be able to feel somebody else's energy. But when I am in that room and it's my energy and you are my focus and my dedication and my purpose, it's like little rings that I hear where you are having all this accumulation.
Yeah.
And when I feel it, again, not only by touching, but I sense it, I feel it with my energy, then that's where I manipulate the most.
Do you notice your hands start to go
My
in place?
hands do go to a different place. Not everybody is the same. Some people it's the back or the ears or the jaw or the around the nose. So I have to listen to you. This is why for me it's so important to be present.
Yes.
Because in my mind is wondering, what am I going to do? I'm busy, I'm doing this. I will not be able to help you.
Yeah. You seem to know a lot of things. And so is there something that you've learned along the way that most of us miss? Just in terms of our daily lives and maybe how we're handling stress or what we're doing to combat it.
To listen to the sounds of your body. Mm-hmm. To listen how something throws you off, how some things make you happy, so how things make you feel like even in a bad mood. You need foods, feelings, people, environment, even plants.
Yes.
You need to learn to listen to you. That's how you learn to know yourself. Mm-hmm. For me, when the doctor was telling me that I was crazy or you cannot do that or that it's not healthy for you, you're allergic, I decided that I was going to learn to listen to my body, and I tried different foods and I wrote down how that made me feel.
Oh, good for you.
And now I go to the doctor because the doctor's there, but just to tell me if everything is good with me.
Certainly.
But I listen and I know what I can and I cannot do because I learned to listen to my body and my needs.
All right, let's talk about your body and your needs. What are you putting into it? What are your superfoods? What's the secret ingredient?
How I started, let me tell you how I started, because I was so sick in the dark. Suicidal. I was really bad. For me, I felt like I never liked to cut corners. So for me, I felt like I had a lot of inflammation. That's what my body's telling me. Because I studied and I thought, it's inflammation that I have. So to reduce that, how I did it was through juicing. Mm-hmm. But I really went and did that because of me. So it was hard, yes, but I knew that I was going to be okay. I believed that that was going to save me. And because I went with that mentality, that's what saved me.
So I juiced for a while too, and I found remarkable benefits from it. I mean, almost instantly. I felt like I tell everybody it was like somebody poked my balloon with a needle, and I went, psst, my gut went, psst.
Yes.
Everything seems better. My backache didn't hurt quite as much.
Exactly.
That inflammation was a big deal.
Yes.
So I like to talk specifics. So like, what kinds of things do you like to eat?
Okay, so you want me to say how I started?
Yeah.
For me, everything was green first. All the things that it's like, people say, oh, that's gross. How can you do that? Celery or lettuce.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything that was extremely green. Kale,
I'm digging this right now. I'm loving it.
Yeah. So everything that people, and I only have boys. I have no girls. So they will say, Mom, that is weird. That tastes disgusting. How can you? So for me was, I'm doing it for health. Healthy reasons. This is not time for a cocktail party.
Right.
This is time for me to get healthy. Mm-hmm. So because I had a vision, I did it and I learned how, and I learned that my body was sometimes feeling sick because I was getting detoxified. Yeah. So a lot of times you get sick and you get afraid, oh, I cannot eat that because it makes me feel this way. Well, there's certain foods that will make you feel like getting the flu, body aches, because it's detoxifying you. When you're getting detoxified, your body gets toxic, poison. So those toxins are coming out, but they need to be flushed.
So the lymphatic system that you work on, if I'm not mistaken, and I just think I've learned this along the way, right? We have lymph nodes under our armpits, in our groin area, right?
Yes.
But where else?
They are in a lot of, behind the ears.
Behind the ears?
And behind the scalp.
Yeah, okay.
They are right here on the chest.
Okay.
Yes, they are in different places. And that's what moves everything, your energy, your toxics. Either they stay or they go. Yeah. You have to move. You can do your body when you exercise. Yeah, but nothing here. You have to move it. You have to touch it.
You got to touch the face. You got to put your fingers on those pressure points and all of that stuff.
Now, you can do that, and we can do that, and it's good. Better than not doing anything. But when you go to a place like you come here, and I say, just close your eyes and let me help you. When you believe again, you just let go, that's how things happen. And remember, if you don't believe in something, no matter how other people say it's amazing, but if you don't believe in it, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
With everything, with food, with everything you do in life. So for me, I've always been a dreamer. Good. I had to, because that was my survivor mechanism as a child.
I get that.
So for me to say I believe, it is, I cannot explain it, because it is something like I transform. Like when I say I believe, all of a sudden it's not, I'm not here. It's somewhere else. It develops a new world for me.
Yeah.
A possibilities. That's how I make things happen.
Do you feel the best when you're working on somebody?
I do, because I am giving something amazing in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and I can explain it. You probably understand it.
Do you ever feel, as a practitioner, is there ever some time where somebody gets on your table and you feel compelled to ask them or wonder what's going on? I mean, because there must be times where you can just feel it, because we all walk in and we come in with our stuff. And, some people must lay on the table and they must feel heavy.
Many times. Yeah. And many times I feel that somebody's ready to be told. Somebody they want you to ask. And I feel it. And when I can feel that somebody's tying their jaw because they don't want to cry. Because when I move certain areas, for some people, that is tears. They want to cry because they remember things. They're trapped right here. They're hold. So when I do go deep inside, some people say, I can't. I forgot this, and I can feel shaking. And I say, I can feel something.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very specific for me.
Yeah.
So when I talk about it, when I'm the first one to mention that, they can't hold their tears anymore, and that is therapeutic.
Of course it is.
It's releasing more.
Yeah, it's really important that people, and not everybody's wired, like you mentioned earlier. You kind of feel like this is in your lineage, right? This has been passed down to you. What did your grandmother do that was so impressive?
My mother's side, well, both of them, from my mom and my father, but I remember my mother's side. She was very wise. There's nothing she didn't know. My grandma would see the stars and knew what was going to happen, the air, the wind. She knew somebody coming a mile away. She already knew things about the person, if it was somebody that she can trust or not, and she was always right.
Wow.
My grandmother was not the type of person that will talk to all neighbors. She was from Spain, so I have some European roots.
Okay.
She was very much into her own self, but it was like a little radio, a little antenna. She knew everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And to me, it was like, if something hurts, it was going to rain today, or this is what's happening, this is because of this. She knew. She had medicines for everything.
Wow.
Living a ranch and a farm with like 10 kids. So she was the nurse, the doctor, everything. She did everything.
Wow, isn't that incredible?
She had a garden.
What a neat teacher you had.
She had a garden where she went and just picked up the herbs and did her own thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it then. But when I started, it came so easy. I felt like somebody was just putting in my head the recipes. That's how my products are.
Yeah.
I dream about them.
Well, you have a whole thing back there, right? You've got a whole concoction of teas and other things. What's going on back there?
So all of that is loose leaf teas. I am in love with loose leaf teas because you can touch them again. I'm very visual. You can feel them and smell them. So I imported them from different parts of the world. I tried them. Some of them did not work. Some of them were not from the best sources. So again, I took about 4 years to make sure I got what I wanted.
Okay.
But the flavors, the oils, everything, and serves a purpose. It is herbs. So they're healing herbs.
Yeah. Everything's really intentional.
Everything is intentional.
Who needs you?
Everybody that is still beating Their heart is beating. Yes, everybody. We all get stressed.
That's it. And whether you're feeling good or feeling bad, it doesn't really matter. It's just about releasing the work, because I've come to learn a lot over this journey of mine. And there's this bit about oxidative stress, which you well know, right? And it's the imbalance between free radicals and antioxidants in our body. And what ends up happening is it gets stuck. It literally does. And it turns into dis-ease.
Yes.
And it turns into the stuff you're talking about, these held memories. And just releasing that, you feel lighter.
You feel like a window open.
That's it, the portal.
Yeah, you do.
You jump through a portal.
Yes.
That's the best way to put it. Clarity comes.
Yes, clarity.
Don't you want some clarity?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of neat things happening behind those doors off Joe Max Road in Scottsdale, Arizona. You can reach out to Cecilia and find out more on our website, which is CeciliaHolisticSpa.com.